Celebrate with a drop of bubbly, sprinkling of peanuts, some smoky bacon crisps, a pint of lager,
wow,
chicken, top up with lager, lime, pickles, a couple of poppadoms, 2 coffees, a couple of brandies, and give it a whirl. It's your body's way of telling you could use Alka-Seltzer. Original Alka-Seltzer, all lemon flavor, specially made for fast relief from headaches with upset stomach. Put a little pling pling fizz in your life.
that sounds like a great combination.
And all because the lady loves Cadbury's milk tray.
Last-minute gifts at Debenhams come in stars and stripes, dots and spots, black and white, hot and cold, walk and roll.
A whole bunch of Christmas ads, but Christmas has been, right? This recording's from January 10th.
Plain and pearl. Family gifts at affordable prices. At Christmas, the difference is Debenhams.
She getting seduced in the elevator because she popped her halls. Have your sore throat kissed. Right, I see.
Oh, look at the ruby red glow on that. Where does that ref's face say, Yazza?
Pity about that 3-match ban though, eh, Yazza?
I was going for the ball.
Yazza, he was taking a penalty.
I didn't hear the whistle. Anyway, should have been up front feeding off the big man. You know I'm a sniffer. Turn on a sixpence, on the left peg, bury it into the back of the net.
Cameron Strong Arm, the ruby red, pours beautifully from the new draft can.
Ruby red. Can you get that anymore? That looks kind of nice. That looks kind of tasty. I'm going to go ahead and queue through this to the next ad break. And looks like we could have just sat here and watched because it immediately turned into something very different. Like, no sooner I start queuing.
Come on, let's go. You get my makeup case.
Okay.
Oh, there you are again. Haven't you got homes to go to? Anyway, cheers. What a good programme that is. Never miss it. Is that the one I'm supposed to be trading? Is it? Oh, well, apparently it isn't. Anyway, never mind. Nothing like a glass of...
What? What? Is there anything else on this tape? No, that would appear to be it for this tape. Oh! Rory Bremner's Christmas turkey. But that's... So it goes from Rory Bremner advert to black screen to, like, war drama back to a Rory Bremner ad.
Rory Bremner's Christmas turkey, tomorrow at 10 on 4.
Rory Bremner's Christmas turkey. Looking for an exact reference to the Christmas turkey.
The MFI sale. It's on now.
Oh, no!
Open again.
3-0?
How can anyone be that lucky?
24th of December 1994.
Now with its new improved micro power.
1994 3D ads. Look at that. Toy Story, eat your heart out. This was probably a Pixar. I learned that Pixar did a ton of adverts in the early 90s. That was where they really cut their teeth.
Open the magical music box and discover a world of classical music and fantastic adventures. The magical music box.
Wonder if anybody's preserved these.
I don't think he does get a lot of sleep. He can't do because Fred puts, you know, he comes out with all these new ideas.
A creamy sauce that's low in fat.
Shut up, Fred.
I can imagine him working very long hours, you know, very strict, tasting everything.
Perfect. And creamy.
I think he's very strict at work, but very soft at heart.
Introducing low-in-fat sauces from Home Pride.
The new year is a time for reunions. In a special edition of Missing, witness more heartwarming stories of the people who came home.
I would never let my mum go again, ever, ever.
Well, that's tomorrow night. Back to tonight, and in half an hour's time we bring you the Cook Report, and we'll bring you the latest news on Cook's most recent investigations. That's at 7:30. 8 o'clock, more action with the Bill. But now it's Emmerdale.
Oh, Emmerdale. Very disappointing.
Distinct shortage of baby care in these parts?
No, give me animals any day. You can shear them, milk them, muck them out, and they never answer you back. My dear Jan, she is wonderful with nippers.
Animals better than children, confirmed. I can't say I'm an Emmerdale person. As far as soaps go, if I got an episode of Home and Away or possibly Neighbours on these tapes, I'll watch it. Hollyoaks, but any of the others I'm not really that fussed. Early 90s, Emmerdale is not going to interest me. But the ad breaks will. My grandpa and I. Is this a Werther's? No, it's Disney. But it's just as cursed as a Werther's ad.
53. I don't know how old my grandpa is, but he's younger than he used to be.
Someone you know can't wait to go. Disneyland, Paris.
Are you fed up with greasy floors? You could choose a strong bleach detergent. Or you could choose from thousands of first-choice holidays.
Okay, I like that this advert defied expectations. I was expecting a Flash ad, and we got a summer holiday ad instead. 16 to 25-year-old train passes. Yo, imagine travelling on the train for £16 a year. Oh no, we've got a darkened image again, which means I need to pause. Unplug, plug back in. Deactivate and reactivate the source.
So where's his nibs then?
Emmerdale. Emmerdale, Flemmerdale. Let's carry on seeking through to the next ad break. It's not that I'm not a soap person. I'm just not a boring soap person. There are certainly eras of soaps that I think are good eras. Like the mid to late 2000s Hollyoaks. 90s and 2000s Home and Away. 90s and 2000s Neighbours. I'm not a soap person, but I'm not a soap person. I don't go out of my way to watch soaps. If a soap is on, I will usually change the channel.
Well, next tonight on Tyne Tees, we bring you the Cook Report, an update. Then after that, we bring you this.
Tonight at 8, The Bill.
Oh, I got excited there for a second. It sounded like it was going to be saucy. It was like, I was like, oh yeah, here we go. But no, it's just the Bill. Oh wow, which sports game is that?
Best of 7.
Okay.
This time I'll play it cool. Here comes my winger, and it's a beautiful run, and he lobs it across, and the striker comes in. He's done me again.
Never mind, Dad. Here comes the PG Tips.
PG picked the youngest, freshest tips of the tea bush, which makes PG Tips the tea you can really taste.
You know, son, there's more to this life than winning.
Yes, Dad.
Best of 9?
Windsor's World of Shoes, famous for
Windsor's World of Shoes.
Massive savings on men's
all
motor
shoes
leather
all the
trainers,
time.
Windsor's sale
Whoa,
price
£5
Ladies'
trainers.
leather fashion shoes, worth $14.99. Windsor's sale price
You can't even get them
Children's
that
leather
cheap in
fashion
a
shoes,
charity
worth
shop
$9.99.
now.
Windsor's sale price £3.
Shit, I want some fancy shoes for like a £5.
The new season begins right here on Tyne.
The new season of...
carrying new and up-to-the-moment factual series with stories from around
Oh,
the
the
world.
new season of television shows. I was worried they're going to say, a new season of sport. In which case, I'm not interested.
In 10 series of the Cook Report, we've exposed a wide range of wrongdoers.
Mr. Corscaden and perhaps you'd like to...
Over our 10 series, quite a few people have been unpleasantly surprised to see us. Accountant John Corscaden, who fiddled millions, was one. His neighbour on Spain's Costa del Crime, Ronnie Knight, was another. Both eventually came home, Corscaden to a 4-year jail sentence, Knight to face trial in the new year. In a Northern Ireland car park, we came face to face with the pinstriped terrorists when we posed as building contractors. Eddie Sayers, armed with a pistol and a calculator, demanded protection money for the Protestant paramilitaries. What he got was 10 years for racketeering. For 7 years, we've hounded the child pornographers, exposing their European distribution network in Amsterdam and demonstrating how this revolting trade was run in Britain. And when computers made it possible to exploit children both as victims and as purchasers, we prompted yet another change in the law. Into Africa, the Cook Report was the first to follow the illegal ivory trade through poachers, middlemen, and international dealers.
It's hilarious. This Cook Report is doing, like, the government's fucking work for them.
It goes round. What's his name? What's that bloke's name? What's his name?
Another one you mean? You mean you sit there and...
The trade in steroids is also due to become illegal. In the new year, dealers like those would face 5 years behind bars. Sometimes it's government inaction that prompts us, as was the case in the most publicised programme of this series, that on cot deaths.
The government? In action? Never. Surely not. Surely not the UK government.
Now face a safer future.
In action?
Major manufacturers and suppliers of...
Sorry, I've dropped a pen.
If the government knew...
If this Cook Report is telling me anything, it's that the government is shit at doing its job. I don't think anything's changed since 1994 when this was broadcasted.
Paul Worley was one of 5 landlords driven from one of Britain's most difficult pubs in the space of less than a year. A pub the Cook Report took over to take on the protection racketeers. We redecorated and restocked with a few hidden extras, 7 cameras and microphones.
Oh, wow. Oh, people getting rid of toxic waste?
It also unearthed the illegal and dangerous activities of one,
you know, like the government is letting companies do now in our rivers and streams.
30 feet beneath at 268.
Nothing's changed.
It occurs throughout the whole of the Western world.
Where's the Cook Report now? We need this shit back.
Programs in Spain, Germany,
we need to hold
Finland, Canada,
companies and criminals
Australia,
accountable
New
in this
Zealand.
country.
How are you?
And the
In our
government too.
second programme, we ran tests in Oxford and in Derby on live babies.
3, 4, 5.
Back at our Salford pub, Mike Davidson is getting his first £50 in protection money. Our exposure of him and his gang has now given Peter Charlson the impetus to form a landlord's action group to protect themselves against the racketeers. When Davidson returned for his second payment, he got a little more than he'd bargained for.
Mr. Davidson, Roger Cook, Central Television. That's protection money there that you just counted out, isn't it?
I'm a doorman.
No, that's protection money. You threatened this place. You threatened this place. He doesn't
Nah,
have
did
doorman. You threatened this place would be smashed to pieces if...
Nah, did he?
Yes, you did. And there's a picture of you doing it before. That's you taking the money before. You take 120...
Davidson is still on the run from the police. One of his gang members, who boasted on the programme of shoving a broken bottle in a landlady's face, has now been charged with a serious assault.
Damn fucking straight.
He believed he was making a deal with Kunsar, the world's biggest producer of heroin. In fact, he was making it with us, and we were filming him doing it.
I need minimum 6 weeks. I can handle 50 million every 6 months. But I need time.
I love this program. It's just... The whole thing is just a flex. We found these criminals and we fucking stopped them.
Money laundering. We've been listening.
We knew they were committing these crimes because we were helping them commit them.
Elizabeth Marsh went to jail last year for claiming the contents of this bottle could cure cancer.
Oh my god! Everybody knows the cure for cancer is just to inject money straight into the bloodstream. South Park already has the cure for cancer covered.
The Medicines Control Agency is now investigating Mrs. Marsh, and the General Medical Council is now making inquiries about 2 qualified doctors.
Look at her! She can't even get the fucking lip shut! She's like, leave me alone! Leave me alone!
In Manchester's Chinatown, the triad...
I just love seeing these people get confronted. It's amazing.
After a 2-week trial, these men were convicted of violent disorder. They'll be sentenced in the next few weeks, and the judge has already indicated some will face lengthy prison terms.
Well, my whole expert group on cot death theories has agreed that we shall address these very worrying suggestions as speedily as possible and in a completely unbiased and impartial way.
About fucking time you did.
I think she better move damn quickly because I know what we're going through now, and I hate to think of other families going through it. It tears your whole life apart. There's a lot of people out there in positions of authority that have got a hell of a lot to answer for.
Damn fucking straight.
Pointed out.
Oh my god.
And the Cook Report will be back next year to make sure that they do.
I need to find out more about the Cook Report, because damn, that's some quality fucking journalism, getting shit done. For real though,
Next tonight on Tyne Tees, we're off to Sun Hill for more...
I'm just glad there was somebody even back then standing up to the government. Oh no, don't cut out during an ad with a crane game in it. No sound. Something's wobbling.
I don't mind.
Is this Heartbeat?
You'll like the rest.
What if we jumped into... Oh. Now we're back in that World War II thing, or World War I thing, for like a second. Videotapes are so bipolar! They're so schizophrenic! Yeah, we're back in this World War I thing. Whatever it is.
Schleck. Yeah. Schwarz. Yeah.
Schlick farts.
Diamond. Yeah.
Yo, that's Brian!
Von Berner.
That's Brian!
Yeah.
That's Brian!
Using my penis.
Finally.
Do you want to see?
No, I'm just about to have my tea.
Get stuffed. You lot are moving out.
Seaforth. Okay. Well, that was what was written on the tape. So it looks like we finally got to what was written on the tape. An epic love story in
That's
9
what you
parts.
wanted. Why you went off.
This will be it. Also known as How High the Moon. October 9th, 1994 release
You want
date.
to see me?
Yeah, I do, but, well...
That puts us again in 1994. A lot of this tape is 94. Yeah, years before Spaced, which is what I knew him for. Which was 1999.
Leave me some paint on there, will you?
Have we got ad breaks in this? If we continue to have ad breaks, then this is a solid tape. Because the Cook Report was some really fucking interesting, fascinating TV. The kind you don't see nowadays. We had great adverts, tons of ad breaks. You had an episode of Home and Away. This tape's pretty solid. This is definitely getting a high mark. If we've got adverts during Seaforth, then the tentative score I'm thinking of giving this tape, I will give to this tape. We'll just see if there's ad breaks. If this was recorded off TV, which I presume it was. BBC, right. We probably won't get adverts then.
And the plastic surgeon gets his motor. The who on earth and why on earth of cosmetic surgery. BBC One's Inside Story, Thursday at 10 o'clock.
Bowser's Inside Story, Thursday, 10 o'clock.
The news and sport now on BBC One at 9:50 with Michael Burke and Rob Bonnet.
Chancellor Kohl has claimed victory in Germany's general election, but it's the narrowest of wins, his coalition's worst showing in more than 30 years. No regrets, the prince stands by the book that says he was forced into an unsuitable marriage by his family. And it's Schumacher first, Hill second, and Mansell nowhere.
Pretty sure we've got the date as 24th of December 1994, but we're now on Seaforth. This could be a completely different day. This could be further back in time, which would explain why the tape was taped over.
The book draws on accounts from close friends and relations to portray Charles as a withdrawn and vulnerable child to whom his mother was a distant figure. His father, who apparently regarded him as a wimp, insisted on sending him to the tough regime of Gordonston, where he was deeply unhappy.
It's cut out. It's completely cut out again. I'm confident that we have exhausted this tape. Originally it said Barrymore on the spine, and then it said Seaforth. There was a little bit of Seaforth on there, but that was ultimately like a complete potluck. There was all sorts on that tape. I don't know if there's anything on there that needs to be preserved outside of the preservation efforts that are already taking place with me making a direct recording of the tape. I remember reading online a little bit earlier while I was looking up Seaforth that that program has never been put on a streaming service or anything like that, but I suspect rips of that program exist. If they don't, there's only a tiny bit of one episode on this tape. If that is lost media, I will preserve it, but I don't believe it is. Because I expect television programs like that have already been ripped and preserved from people who recorded them back in the day. I don't think it necessarily deserves a score this high. I'm going to give that tape a 7. And the reason why I'm going to give it a 7 is there was an episode of Home and Away on there, and that's always a good time. There was a ton of adverts. The tape played very well. It's very clean. There was no major tracking issues. There's a couple of times it knocked the colour out, but all I have to do is disable the capture device and re-enable it, and that fixes itself. There was very clear news reports that helped us pinpoint exactly when these recordings were made on the tape. And there was an episode of the Cook Report, and that was incredibly fascinating, and it gave me an opportunity to talk about how bad the country is, which is always a plus. It would have been bumped up to an 8 if Seaforth had been like on ITV or Channel 4 and we had some adverts to sift through there at the end of the tape, but unfortunately the tape essentially stopped being interesting once the Cook Report ended. That said, it was nice to see Mark Heap, even if only briefly, to see Brian. He keeps coming up, keeps getting mentioned, because I mentioned him during that Bob Ross tape. It's always nice to see Mark Heap come up. So yeah, I'm going to give that tape a 7 out of 10. I'm not sure it necessarily deserves it, but I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Alright.